Hello, YouTubers. Good morning. How are you? Hope you're doing well this morning. Join Kelly in about 2 minutes or so, right after Fox News break. We got all sorts of things to talk about. Of course, leading the charge is going to be the death of Queen Elizabeth and the rise to the power of former Prince Charles, Charles III. Hang in there for that. He's the king. And a good Friday morning, TGIF. I'm Rayford Brown,
And I'm Kelly Knapp.
and welcome to the Friday edition with some dumb crook news coming up this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we'll be discussing all sorts of things. And write this number down: 910-333-0139.
Mm-hmm.
910-333-0139. If you want to join us, feel free to do so. We also have a special guest coming in at 8
Probably
o'clock
around
this
8
morning.
o'clock, yeah.
Mhm.
Tamara Church from the Coastal Coalition for Substance Awareness and Prevention. She's actually coming in to talk about an event that's coming up on September 30th, which is a Friday,
Mhm.
and it's a trauma-informed summit. They had it last year. It's going to be in New Bern at the Convention Center, and it was a huge success. And this year it's going to be even bigger, and it's open for law enforcement, teachers, social workers, counselors, and even the public. Anybody wants to come in and learn more about trauma informed issues and because trauma is often at the root of a lot of substance abuse and mental health issues.
Mhm.
So it should be interesting.
Yep, should be a good one.
Yep.
Of course, on everyone's radar this morning, Queen Elizabeth II. She passed away yesterday
Mm-hmm.
at the age of 96. She had lost her husband, Prince Philip, about a year and a half ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they'd been married 73 years,
Mm-hmm.
the longest married couple in royal history.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Um, King Charles III is now in charge,
Mm-hmm.
large and in charge. His wife, Camilla, went through a bunch of scandal-ridden periods of
Yes,
time.
she did. She's not overly liked by people.
Not
You
not a
either
lot,
like her or you don't.
but the Queen came around
Mm-hmm.
before her death at some
Mm-hmm.
point in time
Mm-hmm.
and said that she would be given the title of Queen Consort
Mm-hmm.
after her death. Doesn't mean that she's in line for the throne.
No, she's not.
You have to inherit that. You got to
Yes.
be born blood for that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
So but anyway, it's just an honorary title, but she will be queen or is queen consort. She gets a crown too.
She does.
So all interesting. King Charles. Let's go back to Charles number one. Way back when, back in the 1600s, he used to fight with Parliament all the time. He was a rabble rouser.
Okay.
And in 1649, before that, that led to the English Civil War. After that, he was tried, convicted for treason, and executed. The first and the only British monarch to be executed for treason. How about that? Charles II, Charles number two, he liked the ladies.
Yes, he did.
And the less than ladies. The reports are he had as many as 14 illegitimate children by a whole bunch of women. All sorts of things were going on in his during his reign, and not a whole lot of them were really nice. So,
yeah,
some people had said a few years back that Charles, while he was still prince, decided, you know what, I think I'm going to change my name.
he thought about changing his name. Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't want that kind of
Wanted to be
association. Yeah.
George, the whatever it was, seventh, I think. His Queen Elizabeth's dad, George. Everybody liked him. He was a good king.
Yeah.
So he wanted to change his name. I considered changing his name, according to some people, to George, so he would kind of get away from that Charles.
Yeah.
Stuff around.
Well, he'd had enough scandal being in charge.
He had his own mess.
I mean, like I said, the Princess Diana people do not like Camilla at all.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
And of course, Princess Di. She was really a loved lady.
I liked her.
But she had her own little issues.
She did.
And many of them keep coming out as time goes by. So we'll have to just wait and see. What a mess. What a mess. Things going on now here in Oslo County.
Yeah.
You say the WITN's reporting on
and so is the sheriff office. Let me
stabbing over there in Richlands the other day.
Yeah, OCSO actually put out a press release last night. Let me get this pulled up. Hold on, I'll get out of this one. Let me go back. I know. OCSO. Because they issued a release. There was a stabbing this weekend, and there had not a lot of information been put about.
Actually, none had been put out. Speculation.
Yeah, a lot of speculation that runs rampant anyway. So they issued a statement yesterday, and it says, on September 3rd at 7:48 p.m., deputies responded to 570 Huffmantown Road in Richlands in reference to a male trespassing and attempting to enter the home. Samuel Richards II, who lived at the home but was not there at the time, called 911 for his girlfriend, Kelsey Kavanaugh, who was at the residence, and witnessed the suspect, Grant Taylor, attempt to enter the home without permission. Samuel, while on his way to the residence, called a witness who stated she saw a male at the door and a female walking around his residence. When Samuel got close to the residence, he called the witness again, and the witness told Samuel the vehicle had left the residence, but she could still see the brake lights further up the road. When Samuel arrived at his residence, he saw a vehicle coming toward the direction of his home. Samuel recognized the driver as Grant Taylor's wife and the passenger as Grant Taylor. Samuel told both parties not to pull in his driveway and to leave. Grant Taylor's wife disregarded Samuel's instructions and pulled the vehicle into Samuel's driveway anyway. Samuel again told both parties to leave his property, at which time Grant Taylor exited the passenger side of the vehicle and confronted Samuel. The argument became physical when Grant grabbed Samuel around the neck with both hands. Samuel stated he could not breathe, and both he and Grant fell to the ground. While on the ground, Grant had Samuel in a chokehold with his arms around Samuel's neck. Samuel was positioned with his back on the ground, and Grant was on top of him. Samuel, who stated he was in fear for his life, removed a pocket knife from his right front pants pocket and stabbed Grant in the back multiple times. During the fight, a uniformed deputy arrived and broke up the fight, detained Samuel, and rendered first aid to Grant. Grant was transported to Naval Hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries at 9:14 p.m. During the investigation, detectives learned Grant and Kelsey have a child whom they share custody of. During the past few months, Grant and Kelsey have had ongoing custody disputes over the child. However, no actions were taken through the court system. Detectives corroborated Grant and his wife came to Samuel's residence uninvited earlier in the night. Grant banged on the door and his wife walked around to the back of the residence. Detectives also learned Grant and his wife pulled down the street and waited until they saw a vehicle with Samuel pull into the driveway. Grant and his wife returned to Samuel's residence and refused to leave. Grant confronted Samuel on Samuel's property. Grant assaulted Samuel by choking him, which led to Samuel stabbing Grant. After discussion with District Attorney Ernie Lee, this case has been ruled self-defense and no charges will be filed against Samuel. The district attorney believes that based upon the evidence, the state will be unable to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Samuel did not act in self-defense.
Well, if he's being choked, that's self-defense.
It absolutely is.
Boils down to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So people have been wondering, and now they know.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's that. We do have for you folks who with the weekend on us here, please,
Mm-hmm.
with a storm far offshore, not really impacting us, but with the systems out there stirring stuff up, dangerous rip currents are predicted for this weekend. Okay, we'll get into the weather a little bit later on.
Mm-hmm.
Dangerous rip currents, and that's effective now.
So please stay out of the water this weekend.
You really don't need to get into the water. Get a boat
Mm-hmm.
if you want to do that. Burn your brains out on the beach. Do that. That's
well,
fine.
the weather's not going to be really conducive for the beach this weekend
Not
anyway.
really.
So y'all might want to find another activity.
Yep, that'd be the best thing to do.
Yes.
And you know we're doing well with the hurricane out there, and we're out of the woods right now. There's nothing out there that should impact us whatsoever. So I may as well get on with that one just a little bit.
Anything brewing?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Hurricane Earl, a long ways from the U.S. mainland, likely to remain that way through the weekend. Definitely worth talking about, though. The key for us is that Earl continues moving away from this area.
Okay.
He passed east of Bermuda overnight and has begun to weaken. I don't know what kind of damage was done on Bermuda, but, you know, it's an island, so you know how that works.
Yeah.
This morning, maximum sustained winds were 100 miles per hour, down from yesterday.
Okay.
By Sunday, Earl will likely be downgraded to a tropical storm and will be off the coast of Nova Scotia and St. John's. Then he will turn eastward for a quick death in the colder waters of the North Atlantic.
Trust me,
Goodbye.
it's very cold water there.
For those who were following the erratic movement of Hurricane Danielle, you won't find her on the maps anymore. Danielle has dissipated overnight in the cooler waters of the eastern Atlantic.
Sweet.
Not even making the charts.
Mm-hmm.
2 areas of tropical disturbance to keep our eyes on.
Okay.
One is in the central Atlantic region. Thought it would become a tropical something by now. It has not, and it probably is not going to. It is continuing to produce showers and thunderstorms. Its development has been slow, and even if it becomes a tropical depression or tropical storm, forecasters predict it will die quickly. The second area is a tropical wave off the coast of Africa, best described as an area of disorganized showers. The National Hurricane Center sees little, if any, chance for this system developing into anything.
So
Done.
basically nothing.
I'm ending the week on a good note.
Yeah. So nothing even
There's
remotely a
nothing,
problem.
You know,
Okay.
we'll check the 8 o'clock and see if there are any waves over Africa, but you know how that can be.
Yeah.
Some of that mess can spring up. You don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
What else is on the local front that we need to deal with?
There's a missing person,
Mhm.
actually. When I was on the sheriff's page, I'm looking at it now. His name is Joseph Nicholas Musulin, Musulin. He's 35. He's a white male. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, blonde hair, brown eyes. He has a globe and anchor on his left arm tattooed. He was last seen in the Hubert-Swansboro area. And if you have any information, please contact the Onslow County Sheriff's Office, 910-455-3113. And there's a report number you can refer to that's on the Sheriff's Office Facebook page. So if anybody knows any information about this guy, please, because, I mean, you know, family, they're looking for him. So.
Over there in Wayne County, Pamlico Tar River keeper Jill Howe says eastern North Carolina waterways were impacted as the Department of Environmental Quality failed to mention contamination to the public. She says, "We didn't find out about this spill until August, and it was by chance. There was no public announcement or public notice made by the state office, DEQ,
Mhm.
letting people know that this happened, and that is hugely concerning," she said. Wayne County Biogas Facility, White Oak Farms slash Legacy Biogas, covered one of their lagoons to capture and generate biogas. In May, Howe says the cover of the lagoon ruptured and leaked a toxic foam of dead hogs, swine waste, and expired food products like deli meat and hot dogs for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yikes.
Really?
Yikes, yikes, yikes.
This is nothing but waste.
Mhm.
Levels of contaminants for people, should they be
Mm-mm.
recreating in the waters? Or were during that time, and also for the ecosystem, for wildlife, the fish, and things like that?
I don't even know what to say, Rayford.
Why did they keep it quiet?
Don't know.
Why
I
wasn't there a
don't
major
know.
alert?
I
This is
Oh
serious.
my
What else
word,
is
I
going?
agree.
What else are they covering up?
I just don't even know what to say. I agree 100%. Scary stuff.
That's just total bull.
We do have something local to report on.
Okay.
Um, Onslow County government reported yesterday there's been an update from Belgrade Swansboro Road. So, there'd been some construction and it had been closed.
Yep.
Well, apparently, we've got an update.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put this on our page, but due to continued shortages in material and delays, Belgrade Swansboro Road will be closed for the next few weeks. So I think it was due to be opened up this past week. Nah, not happening, people. As soon as the materials arrive, crews will work as quickly as possible to reopen the road. This is an NCDOT repair project, and anyone seeking further information should contact the NCDOT. So understand, this isn't an Onslow County
Nope.
deal.
It's
This is
North Carolina.
NCDOT, and the road is closed. So if you travel Belgrade Swansboro, if you live there, you're going to have to find an alternate method around. A lot of people use that,
Oh, yeah.
like as a cut through, but for the next couple of weeks, unfortunately, you are not going to be able to do that.
So much for that.
Yeah.
Let's
So,
go ahead and take a little bit of an early break.
yeah, that's fine.
And then when we come back, you were reading a story about more shenanigans with books
Yes, let me get
and
that pulled up.
sex.
And you are going to be
Okay.
mad at this. Yes.
Really?
I got to find this again.
You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Weather's next. Hey, 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. Welcome back. The deals are right and down there at Tideline Marine. Whether you're looking for a new boat, maybe you want to repower the boat you've got because you like it so good, Tideline Marine can help you. It's the perfect time to let George or Elise help you find exactly what you need for next year. Don't let the upcoming off-season opportunities slide by. Check with the fine folks at Tideline Marine to see what opportunities you do have for next year. Don't wait until the last minute to start making your plans. Tideline Marine and Family, it is a family affair. 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. First off, there's a small craft advisory in effect through Monday morning. Seas will be a little dicey. Don't get stupid. Don't forget, there is also a rip
Mm-hmm.
current,
Rip current.
advisory.
Yes.
The entire coast of North Carolina is under a rip current warning.
Yes.
All
That
right?
means don't go in the water, people. That's
just
what that means.
Yeah, just keep your butt on.
Yeah.
And even if you think you're one of those guys that like to go out there and the waves are coming in, you get out there in knee deep water or something, you can be knocked down.
You certainly can.
And once you're knocked down, good luck.
Yeah.
So if you are caught in a rip current, it's going to take you out to sea, not far.
You're not going out to
It's not going to be very far,
Spain.
but do not try
Yeah.
to fight it. Just stay above the water.
Yeah.
Just float out. And when you get out, it's going to stop.
Mhm.
You'll suddenly stop moving. Then you swim either north or south, up or down the coast. It matters not.
And then swim
30
back
yards
in.
at the most, and then swim across that little sandbar.
Yeah.
And then you
Come
can
back
walk
in.
into shore.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all
How's
you
that?
got to do.
Today, northeasterly winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts to 25, seas 4 to 6, except 3 to 4 near shore. Dominant period 11 seconds. Sounds and rivers will be choppy. Tomorrow, easterly winds around 15 knots, seas 4 to 6, 3 to 4 near shore. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Sunday, southeasterly winds around 10 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet.
Today, increasing clouds, a high of 84. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 70. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high of 84, with a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, low of 72. Still chance of showers and thunderstorms. Sunday, chance of showers, then showers are likely, and then potentially a thunderstorm, which would occur after 2. Otherwise, between all that, partly sunny, high of 85. Chance of participation on Sunday is 60%. So, very good chance it's going to do something.
Yep.
Sunday night, same, mostly cloudy, low of 72, same rain chance. Monday, it's going to rain. Otherwise, in between the rain, a high of 85 and potential for a little bit of sun, but not 100%. So,
Well, that's a big old flounder right there, isn't it?
no way.
That's-
That's got to be fake.
Yep, it's a halibut.
Oh my.
They
that
grow them like that up in Alaska.
That's as big as that man.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
that's not unusual, but
It'd take you a month to eat that
flounders.
thing.
Yeah, it would. You can feed a whole lot of people
You
with
could
it.
feed a village.
All right, I'm looking at this thing you
look-
talked about.
I sure did off before the show started. I did. I told you you were not.
I'm just reading a little bit. So you really, they're giving this stuff to teachers in K
To
through 12.
teachers, yeah. And they partnered with Disney, the American Federation of Teachers, and other entity to provide free and heavily discounted books to low-income schools.
And what are these books about?
Well,
Let's just take one of them about that little boy you talked about.
oh, you want me to read the little boy one? What's about?
Yeah.
Okay. The little boy book is called Fred Gets Dressed, and this book is tailored for ages 4 to 6. Fred Gets Dressed is about a little boy who loves to be naked. The book ends when Fred decides to dress up in his mom's closet, which later becomes a family affair involving both his parents dressing in feminine clothes. Fred is naked, the book says. The illustrations depict the child naked 14 times. He romps through the house naked, wild, and free, the book said. Fred might never get dressed. Now, remember, this is for ages 4 to 6. There's a book, Rayford, called Flamer. Is a graphic novel that contains sexually charged topics and imagery. The characters discuss erections, penis size, and illustrations depict naked teenage boys.
They call that porn, don't they? Kiddie porn?
They call yes.
Hey, wouldn't you be
Yes.
arrested for distributing kiddie porn?
Yes. Yes. Look, if you want to have, sex books or whatever for adults, fine. You can go you can order them online, you can go to the adult bookstore, whatever. But I have an issue with this kind of stuff like I said, any kind of sex, hetero, homosexual, whatever,
Involving
in
kids
schools,
or in schools, but involving kids.
involving kids. This is a big
This
no.
is wrong. This is
Yes.
kiddie porn. It's illegal in every state.
I am, and some of the other books,
I
I
think
can't
there ought to
read
be a
all this
massive,
stuff. We're gonna get shut down if I do.
yeah, there should be a massive investigation and a massive roundup.
And once again, as a parent, know what your child is checking out at the library. You know, and here's the thing: they have went and banned classic books like To Kill a Mockingbird, but this kind of trash, filth, and nonsense can be distributed to teachers. And here's at low income schools, so it almost like they're being targeted. Like these areas are being, targeted, indoctrinated, whatever word you want to use. But as a parent and a grandparent, this is outrageous. Oh my word. I just can't. I'm reading some of these titles. Some of them I can't
We
even read
can't
on the
even put it on the
air.
air.
No, we will get shut down. Oh my God. And the age groups, ages 4 to 6, ages 4 to 6. Oh my God, I can't. Some of these stuff for these teenagers is unbelievable. Oh my
Yep.
God, I can't. This makes my head hurt. And there's one book called Feminist Baby. What? It's a baby, so it'll be accessible to kids. A feminist baby. You have got to be kidding me. And we got kids that cannot read and write and do math. And we're worried about promoting this kind of nonsense.
Just get back to the 3 R's.
Oh my God.
I don't even what you can say about stuff like this. Let me.
It's comical.
It is.
You
it's
almost got to laugh
disgusting.
about it to keep from losing your mind.
Okay, for you guys, all that big federal money giveaway, federal money that is our money, giveaway to pay back student loans. I don't know how many of you are going to get it, but I know you're going to get it in the end, literally. A lot of states are already deciding that, hey, guess what? These people are getting something for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
These low interest loans, they were student loans.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been out dilly-dallying playing with the money. You can't afford to even pay back your loans. Well, guess what's going to happen? They're going to be paid off. Okay, that's fine. Then the states are going to tax you for all of that money. Say you got a $50,000 loan and it's going to get paid off.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have to pay taxes on $50,000. Hello, knock, knock. Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of divvying that out over time, you try to divvy out paying taxes, and you can't pay it back at one time. Guess what? Your state revenue people, they're going to come after you. And then you're going to pay interest on it for the rest of your lives, likely, to get it paid off.
They will garnish your wages.
They will garnish your wages.
I had an employee, I had to garnish their wages to pay back money they owed to the North Carolina Department of Revenue.
Happens.
Yeah. And let me tell you, they will come after your money. I'm telling you right now.
The people who held the loan note, basically, the federal government, they're not coming after anybody. They haven't. That's not the way they dealt business.
The state people will, though.
The state people
they will get their money
come
fast.
after you because you owe income tax. You owe extra money.
My client.
So are you prepared to pay back that whatever the taxes are going to be on $50,000, whatever your tax rate is right now? Well, guess what? All of a sudden, you're going to have to pay it.
Well, let me tell you, my employees' money was student loan money. It was not income tax.
Really?
And I got a notice from North Carolina Department of Revenue that I had to garnish their wages. Yep. Told me how much I had to take out of that check, where to send it.
That must have been a state student loan and not the federal.
It was a state student loan.
Yeah.
But I've had employees that have had, owed income tax and, didn't pay it at tax time. And I guess they give you so much grace period and then they will come to your employer.
Yep.
And I had no choice. I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy, I got to take this out of there.
So,
yeah.
How long would it take you to pay off a $50,000 or $100,000 loan? Oh my.
With student loans, you've got 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know how that works, but What? But here's the thing: I thought he's only forgiven 10,000 of it.
I thought it was 20.
It depends on how much you. No, it depends on the type of loan you had.
Uh-huh.
I mean, in other words, like Pell Grant people get more
Right.
than anybody else. So other people, like for example, let's say my daughter. I don't even think she qualifies, but let's say she did. She would only get 10,000 because she
Mhm.
wasn't Pell Grant. But yeah.
Oh, anyway.
But you still
Y'all
owe
gonna
that
have to,
other
y'all gonna have to pay some money back. Yeah, you might not
because
be.
school costs
So
more than 10,000.
think about how this is going to sit with them.
I don't think people. I think some people hear the word free
Yep.
or no more or whatever, and they just forget about the other part. I don't know, but if there's going to be some unhappy people,
Mm-hmm.
and just think of the people that, because there are some people that still owe that never got their degree. They quit going or whatever happened, but you still have to pay that money back.
Yep.
Think about that. That's a yikes right
That's
there.
the way it goes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
The folks representing Donald Trump and all of his advisors, along with the Department of Justice, they're submitting suggestions to the judge who says, I'm going to allow a special master to get involved in this Mar-a-Lago raid case.
Mhm.
So both sides are now offering suggestions to the judge about who and what and how this person should work, right? So it ain't over.
No.
And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. If he took the blasted papers and he knew he took the blasted papers, he had possession of the blasted papers when the feds came looking for him and he didn't give them back, go for it.
Yes.
Get it. All the garbage about, oh, he had nuclear codes. No, those codes get changed all the time. He wouldn't know what the latest nuclear codes are 2 days after he was gone, a day after he was gone. He wouldn't have access to them because they get changed. If he did have them, that probably would keep Putin under control, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
A rogue ex-president
Yep.
with a nuclear code, and Putin would say, well, you did what?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
the
judge can appoint an individual of her choosing, in this case, a special master, if the two parties cannot agree.
But what's the special master's role? Like, what are
To
they
look
supposed
at all of the information
Uh-huh.
that both sides had presented, will present.
What do you mean by information?
Well, all of the documents,
Yeah.
for instance, are they're classified, secret documents, top secret, whatever,
Okay.
confidential, whatever they are.
All right.
Did he have possession of them? What did he do with them?
What do you mean? What did he do with them?
They found a lot of empty folders that said classified or top secret.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, those were empty.
Well, then how do you know what was in those folders?
Because it's written on the outside.
So, classified document on Rayford Brown?
Yeah,
would have been,
something like that.
okay.
So
okay.
They got,
Because
that's
otherwise,
the
how
kind
do
of
you know
stuff
what
they
was
got.
in there?
So anyway, it was
my
there. So
word.
they're basing a big chunk of what they're doing on
Mhm.
empty folders. Maybe he already turned them in and kept the folders. I don't know. Maybe he burned them in the trash can. I don't know.
And
Where
how you
are
gonna
they?
prove that?
And he
Yeah.
did not sell them. Whoever brought that up, nobody got enough money to make it worthwhile for him to sell anything.
And mainly because whoever bought them would have shouted that from the rooftops
Oh
by
yeah,
now. That,
unless
look
it was
what we
another,
got.
unless
Yeah.
there's another country.
Yeah.
But
So
he's not cooperating with Russia or anybody else.
Russia's got their own problems.
Yeah, I know.
And half the information they already have anyway.
Yeah.
So there's
They got a whole team of spies here. We
Yeah.
ain't doing enough about them.
Yeah.
I mean, we give them education in our university system.
Yes. They know way more.
What in the world are we doing? What are we thinking? What are we
Well,
thinking? We're not.
I have to tell parents, if you are a parent that drops your children off at school instead of riding the bus, look, there are school crossing guards, there's school Officer Brown, he scares me in that school line, man. He is he's got that thing on lockdown. I mean, he will put the fear of God in you.
Nice guy.
Oh, he's a
you've
very
ever met.
nice man, but he is
XY. I worked with him
he
way back.
is scary in that thing. But he's got a system which works. Well, apparently, some people apparently don't. I don't know what they think. And school times don't change. So you know what time your kid has
That's
to
right.
be on. Not only that, you know what time you got to be at work.
Yep.
So plan accordingly. Well, apparently, some woman, her name is Susan Rodriguez, in San Antonio on August 30th, so last week, apparently had a moment where she either forgot, didn't care, don't know what her deal in life is, but she was dropping her child off in the line. So she was, I don't know what she did. She wasn't, so basically, she was trying, the off duty sheriff's office deputy, his name is Officer Deputy Michael Hernandez, but he was working off duty because that happens a lot of
Yep,
times.
it does.
You know, he was directing traffic at some kind of school in San Antonio. He approached her and told her, apparently, she got out of the drop off line in her car. Whatever happened.
Wrong.
And there's a lot of, apparently there's a lot of kids that walk. There's very heavy foot traffic at this school. So he told her to get back in the drop off line. She got snooty with him and said, I don't have time for this. I'm late for work. So then, having some kind of moment, don't know what this woman's problem was, decided to turn her car towards this deputy, accelerated and hit him. She then drove to the back of the school's campus to drop her kid off.
Hit and run.
Now,
Felony
this
hit and
man
run.
has body camera on. Witnesses saw the whole thing. He chased after her, pulled her out of the car, and detained her.
That means he put handcuffs on her.
Yeah, he did something. It was all witnesses were filming. I mean, everybody's got cameras nowadays. He had a body cam. So she was originally cited for disregarding some kind of traffic law there. Yep. And 2 days later, an arrest warrant was issued after they reviewed the body camera, and she was arrested on failure to stop and render aid because she admitted, I knew I hit him. I heard the impact.
So that
didn't stop. And then she was charged with aggravated assault against a public servant. Now, I think she should have been charged with attempted murder of a law enforcement. That's just my Kelly opinion. All because I'm late for work. Lady, I'm pretty sure that when this was made public, and it has been made all over the internet, you probably have now lost your job. I don't know, but a lot of times when stuff like this comes public, people do lose their job when they do dumb things.
Oh, yeah.
This should have been dumb quick, but this is too. I mean, it happens a lot. People get upset in these car pickup lines at school. I had somebody tell me the other day from a school line here, they have to get in line almost an hour at afternoon pickup time,
right,
to get in the decent line, almost an hour
we have
before
public
school
transportation
ends.
here. It's called school buses.
Yeah. But they live too close to the campus. If you live within a certain radius, you can't ride the bus.
Okay, well then,
and this person
kids
lives.
can walk.
That's what they won't let. I hear you, right?
I'm sorry. If you can drive them, you can walk them to school.
I hear you. Yeah, that's what I said. Especially because I know where this person lives.
The parents can drive. Can walk the kids.
They
to school.
live about a block. A block and a half, Rayford. Yes.
Well, it'll do you some good exercise. It'll save
mad
gas.
As heck that they've got to get in line at 2 by 2:10. I don't blame them,
but that's your fault. Yours and everybody else living that close.
I am feeling you on that, but
so
yes,
don't.
But people do crazy things, but you can't be hitting the school crossing guards and the officers. What in the world are you talking about? I'm late for work. Well, you're really late now, lady. I mean, yeah.
Wonder what kind of job she got. I hope she loses.
I would love to know what her job was in general, what her job was. And I guarantee you, because her mugshot's been put all over the internet, you can probably figure it out. But I know we got to take a break. So people, don't act a fool in the pickup line.
Yep. You're live and local Real Talk. Don't go away. There's a couple of other stories that are interesting coming up right after the break. That Seaview fishing pier this weekend would be a good time to go there because it's going to be rough. If you're planning, if
Absolutely.
you want to, if you're just a fishing addict, like boats and all that sort of good stuff, it may be a little too dicey for you and it may be too dangerous for you. Just go down to the pier. It's not going to be moving up and down. You're not even going to get seasick there. So go there. You'll be perfectly safe. Good idea. Well.
Okay.
Chicago's mayor, Ms. Lighthead, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That governor down there in Texas, he's been sending migrants, don't call them migrants. He's been sending illegal aliens.
Yeah.
They come across the border, they get detained. So he moves them around. He sends them, buses them to other places. Good. That's not a problem. I got no problem with it. Good for you, governor. One of those places is Chicago, 100 of them, more than 100 of them from the southern border, moved to an Illinois suburb after being welcomed in Chicago. Initially, he sent them to Chicago, and the good old light-headed mayor, she sent them out to the suburbs. That's ticked off the suburbs.
Yeah.
So far, 300 migrants have been bused from Texas to Chicago in 2 weeks. Yay! What's wrong with that? Chicago is a sanctuary city. Cook County is a sanctuary county. The illegals at the Burr Ridge Hampton Inn are in DuPage County. The county sanctuary status is unclear. Don't know about DuPage. However, Burr Ridge Republican Mayor Gary Grasso previously said he would work to secure the border and defund sanctuary cities. Good for him. That's one.
Yeah.
A reporter confronts Lighthead. He said, "How can you even possibly consider re-election after the harm you've caused?"
Oh my.
This woke group is waking up. I'm telling you right now, things are changing. I hope so, but that's the way it is. Of course, Lighthead screamed and hollered at the governor, Abbott, down in Texas. Abbott said that all she's doing is deflecting the blame to him instead of President Biden, where the blame should be sent. Biden's inaction, he said, at our border is putting the lives of Texans at risk and is overwhelming our communities. Texas is doing Biden's job to secure the border.
Well, they created these, quote, sanctuary cities. What do you think you created it for? Hello, come here. We're going to whatever.
There you go.
You're getting what you wished for. That's what I have to say about that.
Yep. That's the way it works.
So sad, buddy.
Y'all in trouble. Now I'm going to give you a story in the last couple of minutes here before we have to hit another break. Going to make you mad.
Oh my, I just read that headline.
Two candidates for the Fairfax County School Board. Fairfax County, we've heard a little bit about them, right? Have dropped out of the race after they were captured on video laughing at a student with autism who sang the national anthem at a meeting.
Oh, I would have made the news.
I'm going to get down there and pick your jaw up off the floor.
On the news for that one.
Washington Post reported that Stephanie Lundquist Aurora and Harry Jackson both left the race after their reaction to the student drew strong disapproval from parents online. Oh, my.
Oh, Rayford, I need to read this.
Jackson, one of the candidates, said he was no longer a candidate. The female, Lundquist Aurora, whatever, wrote in a post on the Independent Women's Network website that she was withdrawing because her laughter at the student had drawn too much harassment, which threatened her ability to perform my most important job, being a mother. Really? You didn't think about that in advance?
Lady, I tell you what.
You are a bunch of idiots.
Oh, my daughter. Because, my grandson's special needs, and my daughter has just texted me. I can't read half of what she wrote, but she joined her mama in acting a fool. I'm going to tell you, Kelly Knapp would act a fool against these two for doing that. Oh, my God. What were they? Oh, my Lord. Why? Why would you even remotely think that is funny? Like, what? Oh, Raven, I got to compose I need to read it. I need to see who these people are. Why? Where did this happen at? I mean, where were they caught? Was the kids singing at a Board of Education meeting?
It was at a meeting. I don't know whether they were watching video or whether they were whatever. Fairfax live meetings.
Oh my God!
A live streamed YouTube show of 4 adults, including Jackson and Lundquist Aurora, who react to the Fairfax School Board's live meetings. Jackson said, "Did that just happen? I was still processing what we just experienced about the singing."
Are you kidding me right now? And then Lundquist says, I was mistaken. My laughter was inappropriate.
Yeah.
What? Oh my God. No, no, no. You are just stupid. That's the word I'm going to use. I have to watch myself. Lord have mercy. Who are these people?
Idiot one and idiot two, and whoever the other two in the room were at
Yeah, I
the time
wonder who
too
the other
laughing. I
two
don't know.
were. I'd like to know. And upset because you have that you've had gotten harassed and threatened. Rightfully so, lady. Rightfully so. Oh my, I look. I'm gonna tell you something. As someone who deals with special
I-
needs kids, got a special needs grandson, the whole 9 yards. It is a big deal that an autistic kid's even gonna get up and
oh,
sing.
absolutely.
I mean, come on. And you laughing at somebody like that? Oh my God. Well,
Anyway,
you know what? For those people of Fairfax County, good riddance, because they clearly wouldn't have served you well anyway on that
yep,
board.
good riddance is right. You're
Yep.
live in local real talk. Don't go away if you want to react. We'll have a few minutes after this upcoming break. So get in line, give us a call, 910-333-0139. We'll be right back. And we are back, and we do have a caller. Good morning, sir. Who's this?
Hi, good morning. My name is Bill.
Hey, Bill.
And I was just calling. I was listening to the talking about going to the beach and how dangerous it's going to be. And I guess if people do go anyway, if they make sure they consider a buoyancy vest, if it's around the mid tides to low tides for that rip current,
Mm-hmm.
and at high tide is usually not a big risk of the rip tides at high tides. And another thing I was thinking was just sort of on a comical end when she was talking about the little boy who was running around with no clothes in the book.
Yeah.
That it was like the prince that wore no clothes. And I guess a modern day version.
Apparently.
And it would be if the little boy in the book looked like one of the British princes, would be sort of part of the comedy. I don't know. But anyway, it's just listening and just figure I'd throw that in.
All right. Hey, I like the idea of, especially if you're going to have kids, and especially if you're not the strongest swimmer in the world. If you plan to do the ocean, and you're going to get it in anyway, get yourself a buoyancy vest. They and don't make it just one of those little orange things. They're good for the law, but they're not good for you. People don't wear them. They're impossible to swim in. They'll keep your head above water, but if you're trying to swim, they don't work out too well. Get you a jacket type and put it on there. If you really want to put a few dollars in it, get yourself an inflatable one. Not one that inflates as soon as it hits the water, of course, but get you one that is a manual that you can pull a cartridge and pull one little string and it inflates and you're good to go. They're a little more expensive.
The same kind you would for diving and stuff.
Well, not that. This is the same kind you would for boating, but the other kind that you're talking about for diving, they're a bit more
water skiing and stuff.
Sophisticated. Yes. So
anyway. I guess with that an issue too was, and again, if you're a parent, to always just have one person standing on the sandbar, or if it's at low tide or thereabouts. Just as reaction, always watch the kids, make sure they are in buoyancy vests. So, the $5 investment to get one is definitely worth the child's life,
Yep, absolutely.
So,
kind of an unpaid lifeguard on the beach, right?
Yeah, just be there. If you're a parent, watch your kids, and, make sure they're out of the water and being watched by another parent while you take a swim yourself, and just take turns instead of everybody jumping in, and you lose a kid and it's gone. And I've been pulled under by a couple of those rip currents down at Onslow, and I was a pretty strong swimmer. I still was able to get out of it, but I was surprised at how really strong they were.
Yep.
Because I couldn't get out of it until I got pretty far out.
You're not supposed to even try. It'll stop.
Say again?
You're not even supposed to try to get out of it. Just keep your head above water. Save your strength. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Just tread water until it turns loose.
Off to the side, but I was getting pulled out pretty strong.
Yep.
So I just waited until I got far enough out, and it weakened.
Yep.
And then I swam to the bar and then walked out. But it was pretty, I was just pretty surprised at how strong it really was.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I'm glad you made it out okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Survivor story. Very good. That's a good one, Bill. Thank you.
Yeah, I do like that. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too, sir.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Great advice. And from a guy who's been there, got that T-shirt.
And then he talked about how quickly and strong people underestimate a current. It's not like your regular current. Like, it is scary.
Yeah, it's lots of water going through a very small opening.
Yes.
And that's what makes it really, it's kind of like a choke on a shotgun. The more you tighten it down, the more chunk and power you have in the confined area, small area, for you guys who do shotguns. Okay, live and local. That's us. We'll be back in about 60 seconds right after this Fox News break. Hang in there. Don't go away. You want to chat? We've got a few minutes after 8 o'clock to chat too before our guest gets here. 910-333-0139. 910-333-0139. We'll be right back. Okay, 8:01, and we're back. And something else about this whole changeover of
Mhm.
the monarchy in England. King Charles III, his likeness is now going to go on all currency.
Mhm.
And over the next 2 years, they will phase out the current Queen Elizabeth
Mhm.
dollar bills and whatever they got, pound notes
Mhm.
and coins. So if you guys are coin collectors,
This will be the
I
time
would
to go
be
get.
absolutely, because it's going to be a while before there's another change.
I think I've got some of hers from when I was in Northern Ireland, so
I
I
don't
have to
I
go
don't
back
have
and
any.
look.
I don't think. I'm pretty sure I don't. But
Yeah.
anyway, that would be something you might want to
Mhm.
give some serious thought to.
Mhm.
The Bank of England will likely recall and replace pound notes and coins
Yeah,
with the
they will.
Queen's profile over the next 2 years. Whew. So
She
get
was,
what you can while you can.
yeah, she was a classy lady.
She was. She was some people refer to her as Great Britain's grandmother.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, I was just reading in the break about her dogs. You know, she loved her corgis,
hmm
and she had 4 dogs. One actually, she had a cocker spaniel that was given her this year, but then she had 2 corgis and 1 corgi Dachshund. She bred one of her corgis with her daughter's Dachshund. That
Really?
had to be an unusual looking dog.
Yeah,
So now
absolutely.
that people are concerned about what's happened to her dogs, they're like they think her kids will take the dogs
I would
because
hope
they
so.
were her beloved. She loved her dogs more than anything and
Yeah.
made that very clear. So corgis are good dogs. I used to have a corgi.
Oh, let's see. What have we got on here?
Well, a peeping Tom.
Yeah.
This guy here. It happened this week. Where was this? Hamilton, Ohio. So this moron he's a convicted sex offender. Um, so he was finally arrested yesterday after authorities received 24 tips from the public who has identified him as a man who was peeping into people's houses.
hmm
It's a suburb of Cincinnati. And he is lucky he wasn't shot because I'm going to tell you what. So apparently, there's a bunch. Once again, everybody has cameras. They've got a ton of surveillance footage of this idiot starting on August 22nd at like crazy times, 10 at night, 1 in the morning, etc. So the sheriff has finally they identified him, and he was finally arrested and charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. If you've got all these footages, why only 1 count? And this idiot is luckily he wasn't shot. He's a sex offender registered sex offender who has previous convictions for voyeurism. Well, he's got to have more than that if he's a registered sex offender, but whatever. This will get you shot. Period.
Yeah. Inside the house.
Bottom line.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Not just once.
clearly he's got some kind of issue that he is either contemplating doing or whatever, that he's looking in people's windows.
Yep.
Yeah.
A Florida judge Tuesday. What was OnlyFans thing? OnlyFans
Oh,
model.
Rayford, you don't know what OnlyFans is?
I don't know what OnlyFans is.
Okay. So OnlyFans is like a video streaming service, and people pay to watch you do things. A lot of people do sexual stuff on it. So
Uh-huh.
they pay like, for example, so let's say some woman gets paid to, either be half naked or masturbate or
Uh-huh.
film herself in a bikini, or what depends on what you're doing.
Okay.
And people go on this site to
And they pay money to
they
watch
pay
it?
money to watch you. Yes, basically. That's like a synopsis, but yeah.
Really?
hmm
Well, there's an OnlyFans model. Her name is Courtney Clinny.
Okay.
She is under arrest for murdering her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yes.
She was wearing orange prison scrubs and a blue surgical mask as she looked on during a brief hearing in
Mhm.
Miami-Dade County Court.
Yep.
The judge denied a request from her or from her lawyer to limit the release of salacious and sexually explicit evidence to the public.
In other words, her OnlyFans videos, basically.
So
okay.
she gets out there and
Uh-huh.
she, does whatever she's doing. I don't know
Whatever
what
she
it
was
is.
doing, yeah.
In the public,
Yeah.
basically, right?
Yeah, because people are paying for it. I mean, it's online, but yeah,
So
you pay.
You pay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
That's how they make their
now,
money.
why is she concerned about it? This adult content being released to the public.
I
And
don't understand
as
because
evidence.
here's the thing. There's an actual video of her beating him in an
Yeah, I saw that.
elevator. I mean, and you're not worried about that? I mean, because that's premeditated. You beat him before you killed him, and that's on video. I don't know what unless maybe she was doing some real sick stuff on there. I don't know. But I've heard stories of like teachers that have OnlyFans accounts that have lost their jobs over
I would
it.
hope so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Her attorney said this is going to turn into a circus of media outlets publishing salacious materials which have nothing to do with guilt or innocence in this case. She described the video on the phone as sexually explicit and pornography.
Of course. Well,
That's what her lawyer says about it.
Because if it's on OnlyFans, it probably is. Yes.
That's what her
Oh
lawyer says
my.
about it. Oh my.
My word. Yes. And all that's going to do is make people go onto OnlyFans and search her name just to watch that mess. Oh my God. You can't make this stuff up.
Another of her attorneys said, this would just deprive my client of a fair and impartial jury. Prosecutor said that the defense team is trying to control the narrative with an overly broad request to seal evidence that hasn't even been processed yet. The judge denied the motion. She uses the name Courtney Taylor. I'm not going to give you the spelling. Is slated to go to trial in December for the stabbing death her boyfriend of 2 years. Wow, goodness gracious. She boasts 2 million Instagram followers. She thrust a kitchen knife, they say, into her beau's heart on April 3rd inside their waterfront luxury high-rise apartment. She was on the phone with her mom at the time. Really? Had violent quarrels during her entire 2 years?
She like beat him down in that video. Like,
yeah, well, she stabbed him to death too.
Yeah,
that put
she
him
did.
down.
Yeah. Because he's bigger than she is, but what a psycho.
She told police that she had acted in self-defense after he attacked her. Took 4 months to charge her. She was arrested in August in Hawaii, where she was being treated for PTSD and substance abuse, her lawyer said. Really? Really? She's pleading not guilty to the second-degree murder charge. Good golly, Miss Molly.
Not guilt. Okay.
What she's pleading.
Well, all they got, look, from my personal opinion, all they're going to have to do is show that video of her beating him down in the elevator. And you ain't no way they're not going to convict her just based on that. And it's not even a video of her killing him, because you know that if she's capable of that, it's going to, oh my. They probably don't want that OnlyFans stuff on there to prejudice the jury.
No, they certainly don't.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how relevant it is. I don't know what the situation was leading up to the homicide. I don't know what it was.
You could argue if you're capable enough to do this crazy whatever on video, then you're capable of doing anything. I mean, that would be, as a lawyer, I would throw that out there just because and see what sticks.
Yeah, I don't think that would place.
I would definitely play that video of her beating him in the elevator.
Because all I would do if I was the defense attorney, say, how many of these other OnlyFans people have gone out to kill somebody?
It's a good question. Wonder how many have.
I don't know.
It's a good question, Rayford. That might be somebody's board sometime. Go check that out. Yeah.
What else is there?
That's funny.
Megan is and the kids did not go to. She's staying in Scotland. She's not mourning the Queen's death.
Well, the kids stayed in California, but she didn't go to Balmoral. No. I think she probably didn't want to cause more issue than, you know what I mean, than what's already been
she would be the center of attention.
Yeah. So
I'm imagining that her hubby said, yeah,
he probably said,
that ain't gonna happen.
You might want to just stay here at the hotel.
But somehow, unless the new king says, nah, we're not going to do it, the kids get titles now. Their kids get a title. Yeah. She doesn't, but their kids do.
She doesn't, yeah. Huh.
We heard Fox News talking about it earlier. 2 Georgia sheriff's deputies were killed, ambushed. He saw it. They were serving a warrant, and they were both killed. Happened Thursday night, last night. 2 Georgia deputy sheriffs. Sheriff Owens held a news conference early this morning regarding the arrest. The suspects involved were initially barricaded after killing the officers in the line of duty. The Cobb County Sheriff's Office said deputies were serving a warrant when one of the two guys inside opened fire on the officers from a vehicle. Really? Serving a warrant when one of the guys opened fire from a vehicle. Second guy then began shooting at the officers from inside the house. They surrendered after an hours-long standoff.
Oh my. Well, they're done. Very sad. Very
I'm
sad.
just like ridiculous. Let's take a break. You're live in local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back. The deals are right down at Tideline Marine right now, whether you're looking for a new boat or you just want to repower your old boat. Tideline Marine can help you. It's the perfect time to let George or Elise help you find exactly what you need for next year. Check with the folks at Tideline to see what opportunities you have next year. Don't wait until the last minute to start making those plans. Takes a while to order boats and get them in. They have to be built, believe it or not, and you can be built to your specifications. That's the real cool thing. Tideline Marine and Family. It is a family affair. 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. All right, right up front, there is a small craft advisory in effect through Monday.
Mhm.
That means
Mhm.
seas are going to be a little bit on the dicey side. Don't get stupid out there.
They're going to be yikes.
Yeah, there's some yikes time out there. Northeasterly winds 15 to 20 knots today offshore, gust to 25, seas 4 to 6, except 3 to 4 near shore. Dominant period 11 seconds. Sounds and rivers are going to be choppy. Not too choppy if you want to go to Tideline, though, and get one of those Aquasport. They can handle the chop.
And then get a floundering gigger too.
Yeah, you can get a big old 10-footer.
Mm-hmm.
Can reach out and touch somebody. I
Mhm.
mean, a fish. Saturday, tomorrow, easterly winds around 15 knots, seas 4 to 6, 3 to 4 near shore. Sea sounds and rivers a moderate chop. And on Sunday, winds will be out of the southeast around 10 knots, seas 3 to 5.
Today, increasing clouds, high of 84. There could also be some gusty winds with gusts as high as 16 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 70. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high of 84, but there's also a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow night, the same, mostly cloudy, low of 72. Sunday, the rain chances they bump up even more. So it's probably looks like it's going to be sunny in the morning, and then the rain is going to start in the afternoon. Same for Sunday night with a low of 72. And on Monday, more of the same with a high of 85. So,
All right, just to recap a little bit, the 8 a.m. advisory for Hurricane Earl still has it as a hurricane. It's downgraded, and it did have 110 to 15 miles per hour winds yesterday. They're down to 100 miles per hour now. It's still moving towards the northeast.
sweet.
Yes, yes, and yes. It will make no landfall. And I don't know how close it came to Bermuda, but it was right off the eastern end
Yeah, I
of
knew it was right
Bermuda.
off. Yeah.
They're still under hurricane warning there.
Mhm.
So tropical storm warning. Sorry, that's what they are under right now because the storm is moving away from them rapidly. And it's moving at 18 miles per hour.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
zipping.
That's getting it.
Yes, it is. And it's
Wow.
being downgraded as it goes along, diminishing. By Sunday morning, bright and early, before day, it will be a tropical storm. Will still continue to move northeastward until Monday morning. And then it's going to hang a hard right and go away.
It's going to, and it'll
To
probably
the cold,
dissipate
it
in that
will
cold
be
water. Yeah.
dissipating in about probably a day or so.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad.
By midweek next week, she will be nothing but like Danielle is, not even a blob.
Not even a blob.
Okay.
And nothing else currently coming off
There's
that you can see?
nothing on the screen whatsoever except
Okay.
the two
The two that
disturbances,
yeah.
and they're in a direct line. I mean, this is a perfect direct line.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
they'll do the same thing and move up. If they're on this direction of travel at this point in time, moving towards the northwest, this far out, and they're both doing exactly the same thing,
It just,
I mean, it's going to have to bend, and they'll probably bend earlier than this one.
Yeah.
Hopefully for Bermuda's sake.
yeah. Yeah.
So maybe they'll just go away.
Well,
Okay,
let's hope so.
Yep.
Good, good,
we have a
good.
guest.
We do have a guest. We have Tamara Church here in the office or studio, and she is with CSAP, which is the Coastal Coalition for Substance Awareness and Prevention.
Mhm.
It is a 5-county coalition that covers Craven, Carteret, Jones, Pamlico, and Onslow counties. And they do substance prevention, underage drinking, opioid prevention. What am I missing?
Cannabis.
Cannabis.
tobacco use.
Yes, I knew. Yes, I knew I was forgetting something. So, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
Good. And I know one of the things I did want you to come in here and talk about was the Trauma Informed Symposium, which will be at the end of the month on September 30th, which is a Friday. So, start off. Let's talk about that because I know there are some people here in Onslow that may want to attend.
Absolutely. So it's the 2022 Resilience Symposium, Building Hope, and it will be starting at 8 o'clock. People can come in at 7:30. Registration starts until 5 p.m. So it's a long day, but we have a full day packed with experts in the field coming to share their experience with us. A lot around building resilience, but what that looks like is learning strategies. They'll talk a lot about adverse childhood experiences and adverse life experiences and how that relates to our relational health. We'll talk about multidisciplinary teams as best practice and how we can build those. We'll have some breakout sessions in the afternoon. We're really focused on learning strategies that we can actually use in our day-to-day life. So there's going to be some help self-care. We're going to have our from Onslow County, Sam Lewis will be on there, and he'll be talking about creative arts. We'll have him playing some.
He likes to sing. Yes.
Yes, he will
Yes.
be there for lunch. We'll have a nice, relaxing lunch. And then we have someone, Deborah Ashway from New Bern, who is a trauma-informed therapist. She will be there talking about art therapy and EMDR, which is a trauma
It is.
therapy modality. Yes. So we're just really excited to have all these experts come in. We have Becky Haas coming back she's an international speaker trainer from Tennessee, Strong Brains Institute. And then we're also excited to have Keith Cartwright and I hope I'm saying her name right, Maren Scalone from Virginia Department of Behavioral Health. So we really have a lot of experts coming in to share with us their expertise and to help us to learn some strategies in which we can learn basically how to get through our days. There's been a lot of stress the last couple years. I mean, I think life is just stressful in general. But really thinking about ways that we can grow out of that and not allow that to affect us on a day-to-day.
Now, who can attend this, or who is is there a target audience, or is it open to anyone?
Really, anyone who's looking to build resilience. If you work with people, unless you work on the other side of a screen and really have no interaction, but even for those people, it's still going to be good. So anyone looking to build resilience, our teachers, our law enforcement, behavioral health specialists, really anyone.
People that work with children, people that work with adults, a lot of peer supports. I mean, I think it would be very good. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll read every day. We look at our news products every day, all over the country, and it's happened in Onslow County now. That's different than we never thought we were going to have to put up with people committing murders in high schools. We really have been very lucky, if I can find some wood, but it's happened, and it's happening in our communities. It's happening in all communities. It seems like stress level with that. We read about all of the idiots out there committing crimes. 2 deputies shot down in Atlanta last night. Just trying to serve some kind of a civil warrant, whatever. It's not just law enforcement. It's people who are reading this, who are putting up with it, people who have kids in school. They drive 1 block, did you say? To spend an hour to get in line, to drive a block to take their kid to school, because school buses don't serve people living close by.
In the neighborhood, yes.
They're scared.
Yeah.
People are scared.
Yeah.
I've never heard of so many Ring doorbells out there in the world. That's because people are hiding. They want to know what's going on.
Absolutely. And so whenever we're operating out of fear, we're in a stress response, and there are certain physiological things that are happening inside of our bodies. And most importantly, in our brain, the part of our brain that is responsible for being able to problem solve and critically think is not what's in charge whenever we are operating out of fear or we're stressed. But it can also be whenever we've had certain experiences in our lives and our brains tell us that there's danger and push us into this stress response. And so when we're in that stress response, we're more reactive to the world around us, opposed to being able to stop and really think clearly and think through what we want to do. So there's a lot of negative health outcomes that come from this, from heart disease to type 2 diabetes. They've even linked this to cancer, but also we know specific for our organization back to substance use. And so that's really what we're looking to do, is to really address those and buffer those adversities and what I would say traumatic experiences that people are experiencing. And just like you said, I think that we have this collective trauma because we're so connected. We're constantly seeing all of this negative stuff come across our phones and our screens, and whether or not we realize it or not, it's impacting us. And so that's what we're looking to do. We're not going to sit in the trauma and just talk about all this adversity, but we're thinking, what can we do? What are some solutions in which we can come together and really work towards a solution?
There are not enough of you, or counselors or anything else, to handle the issues that are going on right now. No. What can people do? Turn off the TVs? Shut down their computers?
Yes.
So they won't know about it? But it's still going to be happening.
But I think a lot of people spend an enormous amount of time on media and computers and the internet, and they don't realize that the impact that it's having on them,
Mhm.
maybe not even at that moment. Like reading stories like we were talking about earlier. I mean, I could feel my blood boiling, and and you don't realize it at the time, but may an hour hits you later or whatever. Or even when you're hearing people in the workplace, especially people that work like in cubicles and stuff, where you're all in a big giant room, and you might be separated by cubicles, but you're not walled off, so you can hear conversations, and people hear talking about something negative or something they're reading, and it does impact you.
Then we got the political world out there, which is just, a total turmoil,
They'll make people have
period.
trauma right there.
And
Yeah.
then we got, like we read this morning, the one that really got her going. Two school board candidates in Fairfax, Virginia, have pulled out of the race. Why? Because they got caught on video laughing at an autistic child singing the national anthem.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yes. So I mean, but stuff like that does impact it, and you're right. We do need ways to build resilience and coping skills. And I know this symposium last year was a big hit, and I think there's a lot of interest generated, and it is catered, by the way. So
It is.
yeah.
Poshnosh will be there catering again.
Mhm.
Last year, we had a little over 120 attendees.
Mhm.
So we're capping it at 300, still just being mindful of, the physical distancing.
Mhm.
But we also had a trauma-informed summit in August, and we had
Yes.
a little over 150 law enforcement and schools attend there. So we're hoping that we're going to build this, and we'll pack the house. It's at the New Bern Riverfront Convention Center,
Mhm.
again on Friday, September the 30th. And so if people want to learn more or to register, they can go to Eventbrite. It's 2022 Resilience Symposium.eventbrite.com. But like you were saying, a lot of this lives within our bodies. And that's some things that we can do just right now, listening to this. Look at your phones. Most people have these smartphones. Look under settings at screen time. See how much time you're actually spending on your phone. And think about that and the number of hours that you have out of a day that you're actually awake. And so pulling back from that, just shutting down sometimes, we do not need to be constantly attached to media and all of this negativity, but yet we find ourselves, because it always draws our attention, so we find ourselves looking at it and consuming that. But realizing that you can put that down and step away, go for a walk, take a step outside, just listen to the birds, feel the sun on your face, just detach, connect with another human being. But exactly what you were saying, Kelly, about feeling that in your body, that's another thing that you can start
Mhm.
doing. Like, we're not going to be able to talk these things away, but what we can do is start to recognize how our bodies feel. And if you can start to feel when you're starting to get stressed, that rapid heartbeat, the
Mhm.
sweating, some people get tension headaches, some people can feel it in their stomach, those butterflies in their stomach. All of that is your body telling you that you are in a stress response. And there are ways, there's different coping skills in which we can use, and one doesn't, work for everyone. So finding things that allow you to regulate your nervous system is really important. One thing, there is a free app that I encourage people to at least check out. It's called iChill. You can get it for free online on an Apple, on an Android, on a tablet, any device. It tells some basic skills that anyone can use, that you can use with children. Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Mhm.
Now, is there a cost for the symposium?
There is a $40 charge.
Okay.
Mainly that is just to allow us to pay for the caterer.
Yeah.
We do have the Drug Free Community Support Grant, which is a grant that helps us to do this work in all 5 of our counties. However, they do not allow us to pay for food, so
Mhm.
we're basically covering everything. It is a lovely event. It's a beautiful space. I don't know if any of you have ever been to the Riverfront Convention Center, but it is gorgeous.
Mhm.
And so we pay for all of that, pay to bring in all the experts and therapists and speakers, and yeah, have that to cover costs. There is some tax on there, so I think the total comes out to $44.06, if I remember
Mhm.
correctly.
Not bad, not
Mm.
bad. And I do think, like I said, it is open to the public. It is open to people that are working with, adults, youth, families. And I want to bring up something too, because I am a member of CSAP, and we were talking earlier this week about kids and the situation at Northside and what had happened Rayford, we were talking on the air and somebody brought it up about, having the kids tell things, and I brought up they don't like to, and with CSAP we have a safe youth group, and it is a substance abuse
Substance awareness,
substance awareness
prevention
helps everyone. I
everyone.
couldn't remember what the H was. The kids came up with this name, and what we use these youth for are to go in and do a sticker shock campaign, mainly around underage drinking, where we partner like with a convenience store or some type of grocery store, and we put stickers on products that have alcohol in them, because believe it or not, there's a lot of products out there that adults don't realize have alcohol in them that the kids can convince somebody to go in and buy. So that's just what they do. Well, we've been having a little bit of trouble recruiting youth, and the number one reason they've given us is we don't snitch. Am I correct? That's what they say. So that's why I want to convey to people, when you're working with kids and you're trying to get them to tell what they see, they view, quote, snitching very differently in the schools than us adults do. So we have to be mindful when we're trying to find ways around this gang activity and the drug activity kids are in or whatever, that they take, quote, snitching incredibly seriously. And we're trying to do with the Safe Youth Group of kids to, build, protective factors and make awareness to parents. There's a lot of adults out there that don't know some of these things that look like iced tea, for example, have alcohol in them. There's even alcohol water.
Yeah.
And there's some adults that do not know, and we just want, to use the kids for that. And we've had trouble recruiting kids because, as they say, we're not snitches. So I just want to
you're
put it
going
out
to be
there.
a 14-year-old right now for me for just a second.
Okay.
Okay. Who's your best friend at 14? Do you remember who your best friend was?
Still is Dee Dee.
Dee Dee.
Mm-hmm.
At 14.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do anything for Dee Dee?
Yes, still will.
Would you know that somebody down the street here or down the end of your classroom has got a gun? Would you snitch him out? Or would you be willing for her to die?
Personally, I would snitch them out. Yes.
Well, I know that, but I'm talking
But
about
I would probably fight them.
Would
but
even
yes.
the average 14-year-old?
No, a lot of them.
They would not to save
lot
their
of them
best friend?
won't, Rayford. That's
To save
that's
their
what
best
we're
friend?
running into. A lot of them, they
That's a
take
problem.
this whole snitching thing,
It ain't snitching.
but to a 14-year-old it is.
Yeah,
I agree
well-
with you. But it's like we've got to find a way to break that barrier.
Let them stand over the bodies that I stood over.
I hear you.
Okay.
But the problem is a teenager, unfortunately, does not think the way we do, that we know. So we're trying to find that way to reach, and it's tough
Mhm.
to reach these kids, to make them understand. Kids do not think, they don't view death and whatever in the same way we do. Yeah.
Well, the population is going to be under more control then, because unless we put a stop to it, that's what's going to happen.
And with CSAP as well, one of the things we're seeing an increase of with CSAP is the vaping with the
Absolutely.
kids. And
That's a harmless thing, though.
oh no, it's not.
That's what I heard. When it came out, it was to replace cigarettes and all that sort of good stuff.
It's
It
not.
didn't work.
Did not work.
No, I have a kid client that is 17 that vapes and was vaping in the office prior to coming into the session on earlier this week, and coughed halfway through the session. And I knew why, and I pointed out it's not the vape. Okay, take a hit of that vape. They did. What did they start doing? Coughing and hacking. Yes. And they argued with me that it was not the vape causing, yes, we've got our work cut out for us, and for education and for these parents. We had someone inform us that they went to a family event, and I guess the mom vapes. So the 15-year-old daughter walked up when mom vaped and put the vape down, and this person witnessed the 15-year-old daughter of the mom come up and pick the vape up, and they're like, "What are you doing? You're 15. It's only a vape."
Yeah, there's this idea that it's this harmless vapor, but
Mhm.
yet it's not. There's
No.
so many chemicals that are in these products.
Mhm.
So how is it on the market?
Very good
Who
question.
got paid?
It's a good question. It's not.
How
But,
did
you know-
FDA not see this thing?
The vaping products are not as regulated yet, but the FDA is working to rein that in. But I
that
mean,
can be
it takes
done.
forever. Yes, they need to
Yeah,
speed this
no,
process up.
that can be done
Yeah,
overnight.
yeah,
That's illegal. Just take it off the market. The county of Onslow could do it.
they could. They probably may have a lawsuit on their hands, but yeah. Look,
That's
North
okay.
Carolina has not even changed their age. You know, federally it's 21 to buy tobacco products.
Mhm.
North Carolina General Assembly has not raised the age to 21. It's still 18 on our books.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's just it gets to be irritating, and I know I'm under stress. That's just the way it is. History
Mm-hmm.
and current history.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a tough thing. I do. If somebody wants to go out and relax, you won't be able to take your cell phone. You can if you want to, but it ain't
won't
never
work.
going to work again after I tell you where you go to go.
Yeah.
Go take diving lessons.
He dives. He's
You
a
all
diver.
alone or with your buddy, but you're there. Nobody's jabbering in your ear. That thing ain't going to go off ever.
Yeah. True.
So good. It's
Yeah.
a great way to be totally consumed by nature.
Absolutely. That sounds like an amazing adventure.
58 years worth.
Wow.
Well, Tamara bikes
Mhm.
a lot. With her and her son, they
Yeah,
bike.
but you got
they
to worry
do
about
bike
other
trails.
cars and stuff.
Well,
Oh, no,
they-
it's in the
yeah,
woods.
Yeah,
on
they
trails.
do.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ever thought about cougars and stuff like that?
But you could probably
No.
outrun a cougar, maybe. Yeah. We hope
No.
so.
Maybe.
No.
Yeah.
They jump from trees.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, there goes that wood trip, isn't it?
Are you being for real right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
You'll never see her in the woods
I
again.
will never go to the woods now ever again. Yeah. Well, I'm too
All
worried
right.
about snakes. I wouldn't go now anyway because of snakes. I'd go in the winter. Cougars, don't they hibernate and stuff?
No,
I don't know how that works.
no, they like this cold weather.
Oh, jeez. Rayford, I'm now you're gonna make me not go into the woods. But Tamara, thank you. And also, as it gets closer to the end of the month, I'm gonna have you call in
Okay.
and talk about see if there's any registration spots that are left.
Perfect.
is
Yeah,
that-
registration does close on September the 23rd. So it's a
Okay.
week prior to the day of the event. So
So maybe the 2 or 3 days before that.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll even have we have someone in there, a massage therapist who's going to be doing chair massage
Oh, really?
throughout the day. Yes.
Okay, how much is this? $40?
$40.
Only
What-
$40.
What is day? September 30th?
It's a Friday
What day? What time of day?
all
It's
day.
all day, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay, you'll be alone Friday morning then.
I won't
Lee.
be here that day because I'm gonna be up there at the event working.
Hey, Lee, you're
yeah,
gonna
Lee,
get to
you're
get
gonna
a
have to
guest
come in
host.
here.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
Or
Rayford,
y'all can just do it from there.
We can do that
we
too.
could broadcast from there. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I can
think
do it
about
from
that.
anywhere in the
Yeah.
world. I
Yeah.
did it from anywhere in the
Yeah,
world.
you did it from Bonaire. Yeah.
All right, Tamara, thank you.
Yeah.
We
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Yes.
You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Crook News is next. The Dummies of the World, presented by Kelly. Yeah, good guess. Good guess.
Mhm,
Good
mhm.
information too.
Yeah.
Good gracious.
And it was a big hit last
So
year.
good.
So it was a lot of social workers were there. A
Yeah.
lot of Onslow County, like health department people
Mhm.
and peers and social workers went, and it was very informative. So law enforcement were there. It's a big deal. So they're looking to cap it at 300 people this year.
Yeah.
The Poshnosh food is amazing.
Mm,
Yeah, that lady, she's got a
The
going on.
Carter Sheriff's Office has increased the reward to 25 grand for information on the double murder in Atlantic a month ago. Sheriff Asa Buck, held a news conference this week. The bodies of Philip and his younger brother, William Fulcher, were found at their home. They shared a home on Fulcher Court in Atlantic. It's a little community up there in Carteret County. The autopsy ruled the deaths as homicides. I don't know what occurred. Sheriff Buck said evidence found at the house showed a violent fight happen. It's likely more than one person was involved. The one or more could be injured, and likely the people knew the brothers. The sheriff is asking the public to give deputies as much information as possible. He's requesting Atlantic residents, if they have cameras with a street view, just doesn't matter how close you live to it, but if you have it, just contact the office. He also is asking residents to be mindful of people who have changed their attitude or routine or have injuries. The reward was $2,000 earlier. Now it's 25 grand yesterday,
Oh,
as of
my.
yesterday. So if you got some information, do it for nothing. But if you want some money, do it for the money. I don't really care why you do it. 252-727-4636. Write it down now if you're in that area. Even in Onslow County, you may know something. 252-727-4636. Okay. It's time for the dumb crook
I'm
news.
telling you, we've got some dumb crook news, but we've also got some what I call genius sheriff things where they've come up with creative ways to get the public interested in fighting crime, so to speak. It'll make you laugh.
Okay.
But we're going to start in Florida because we just cannot do dumb crook news without Florida. I'm sorry, but it just has to happen. So some guy, he was 23, named Joshua James, was in Palm Beach, Florida, went to a Wendy's drive-through. He had ordered a large drink and got the drink. Okay. No harm, no foul, you would think. Somehow got mad about his drink. Now, how you gonna mess up a large drink unless you give them the wrong one? But they confirmed it was whatever he ordered. Let's say he ordered a Dr. Pepper. I don't know what it was, but he got what he asked for. He got mad, Rayford. You're gonna love this. Reached in his back seat of his car, grabbed a 3-foot alligator and threw it through the drive-through window at the staff.
You cannot make this stuff
I'm
up.
telling you. They
Oh,
even
my
got a
goodness
picture
gracious.
of the alligator in here. And
Poor alligator.
I mean, so
what was he doing in the back seat of the car?
I will tell you. Well, they really don't know for sure. But when they went to him and they figured out who he was, they arrested him at home because he left after throwing the alligator, left. But they, once again, people have cameras, folks. They tracked him down through his license plate and whatever. He was charged with second-degree petty theft of the alligator, which he had picked up from the side of the road earlier that day. So this idiot drove around with this thing in the backseat of his car. Possession and injury of an alligator and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. What a total moron.
Good for you, Bubba. Hope you enjoy it, Gator Boy.
They say the alligator survived, of course, and it did not bite anybody in the restaurant. It scared the heck out of the staff.
I'm sure it did.
I mean, law enforcement had to come and corral this alligator. And yes, and they just do not know. Oh, his parents claimed that it was just a dumb prank.
That's not a prank.
No.
That's simpleton assault because he is a simpleton.
Absolutely. So that right there prompted the writer, the article of this, to talk about other fights that have been through crazies, basically. So at a Checkers restaurant, two men got in a fight over a bad hot dog. Like the hot dog was, I don't know if they mean it tasted bad, it wasn't made right, not certain.
Oh, one hot dog?
Yes,
They were sharing a hot dog.
I think.
Oh my.
Then in Louisiana, a cook stabbed his coworker over gumbo spices. The coworker claimed the cook was putting too much in there.
Uh-oh.
The cook's like, I didn't put enough in there. A fight broke out and he stabbed his coworker over
You
gumbo
don't go
spices.
into a kitchen where there are knives and meat cleavers and
No.
stuff like that, and
What
you
in
get
the
into a battle
world?
with a chef or a cook.
Yeah.
They take it personal when you try to tell them to do something differently than what they normally do.
And
And
in
don't put ketchup on your food either.
I love ketchup on my food, but I can't eat ketchup right now, and it makes me sad. But
No.
and in Florida, because it's always Florida, some guy got arrested because he tried to pay his bar tab with a rock.
Was it a pet rock?
It must have been. He just, and
Had
that's
some
when you know you've had too much to drink right there.
Did you have it must have had some value to him, I
It had
guess.
something, and they said, "We will not take your rock." He got mad. Rafe, you just literally cannot make this stuff up. You cannot. Let's take a break.
You're live and local real talk
Wow.
with the real dumb crooks.
Right.
Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey, a reminder that tonight at 6:30, right here on WSME, we're going to be covering the Jacksonville takes on the, I forgot who they are. Anyway, West Carteret High School in Morehead City. So if you're a Jacksonville High fan, haul butt, get on over there. Game time is kickoff is at 7 o'clock. If you can't go, you can listen to it on either 11. Well, you can't listen to it on 11:20 because it's after sunset. Listen to it on 97.1 or WSME971.com. WSME971.com. And that play-by-play live action. Okay. Now,
There are some awesome sheriffs out here. And in Lee County, Florida, I don't know where Lee County is, but I really do want to meet this guy. But anyway, so a naked man raised some kind. It literally says raised a ruckus. I mean, that's literally what it's written here outside his house, and the neighbors called the police. I mean, this man was acting a pure fool. Deputy shows up, Lee County Sheriff's deputy, and so then he threatens the deputy with the kitchen knife.
uh-huh.
Now that's a good way to get your butt shot right there.
Yeah.
So the SWAT team was called, and they end up coming in and apprehending him, as they put it, and I don't even want to know how, but they did. So afterward, the Lee County Sheriff, Carmine Marcino, he stood on the man's driveway in his combat gear for a news conference, and he has named his jail the Marcino Motel. He has a news conference, and I'm gonna verbatim tell you what he said. He's an oxygen stealer and a scumbag, and I'm glad he's out of here. I'm proud to say in this county, if you present deadly physical force, we will meet you with deadly force every time, and we win. It is pretty clean and pretty quick. I love this guy.
I've seen that
Yeah.
same quote from him before.
And he is, there's another guy, Santa Rosa County. Bob Johnson is a sheriff there in the Panhandle. And he held a news conference about some kind of burglary. Apparently, the homeowner had fired shots but didn't hit the suspect. So Sheriff Johnson encouraged that homeowner to take a gun safety course so you could learn to shoot better and take matters into your own hands, and you'll be saving the taxpayers a lot of money.
It's
love
time
it. Yeah.
that our lawmen get to be real.
Got to be creative.
Forget about
and,
what
yeah.
the idiot politicians are
yes.
telling you.
Get real about it.
Just and let people know this is the way it's going to be. We are going to be hardcore. We'll be the greatest friend you can ever have or your worst nightmare.
I got one for you. Now, this ranks with genius on the sheriff's part and almost comical on the fugitive part. So he's Brevard County. It's near Cape Canaveral. He has a game every week called Wheel of Fugitive. He spins a wheel with the photos of 10 of that county's most wanted at the time. He goes, everybody watches it. Even the fugitives watch it to see who becomes fugitive of the week. This is like genius. Like, this is just pure
You know what? That's
genius.
exactly what needs to be done here.
Yes.
The one that we're looking for is the one that whoever rises to the top, we're going to put all hands on deck and bring them down.
Yeah.
Hey, United States of America, formally created by an act of the Second Continental Congress on this date in history. The year was 1776.
Oh, wow.
We became the new United States of America. By goodness gracious. So good.
I like it.
All right. Let's see. We're about out of time.
We are, and I'm glad I can't get this Python video off my thing.
You showed me. You got
It was in
22 foot.
Thailand. A 22-foot python emerged from these people's toilet into their bathroom, and they have kittens. And luckily, there was a glass wall. The python made a beeline for these poor kittens. And I'm over here yelling as we're watching this off here, don't let it get the cats. But animal control saved the day. 22-foot, Rayford.
So is the snake still alive? They're hunting those things down there. You know that, right?
Eat those things and that's just, oh my Lord. I don't know.
Whatever.
That's got to go.
All right, guys, go have a good weekend. Now, a warning again, one more time. Rip currents are likely. Rip currents are going to happen on the beaches up and down the entire eastern of North Carolina.
Yes.
I don't care about the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Boating is going to be a bit dicey this weekend, especially in the ocean. If you got those of you who like to go out into the ocean on calm days with your 17, 18, 20-foot John boats, don't even think about it.
No.
I won't even be going in my 30-footer, okay?
Mm-mm.
You can handle it, but it'd be obnoxious to be out there in it. It's also dangerous.
People just need to stay home today.
Just go out and find something else to do.
Mhm.
Read a book,
Mhm.
if nothing else. Get your minds off the internet. Get your minds off the TV, unless you got some kind of entertainment stuff that you like to watch.
Mhm.
But get your mind off the news, and we'll see you Monday morning to bring you up to speed. How's that?
That's what we'll do.
Okay.
Yep.
Have a great weekend and be safe, and stay safe if you have to get out and drive. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m., WSME. We've got Sports Talk is next. And then at 10 o'clock is Rick Dees with the Daily Dees. And at 3 o'clock is Hollywood Man in the House. Have a great weekend.